Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the justification of specification. This is one of the important part of your ECTD section. You will see this particular section in 32P as well as 32S. So you have this justification of specifications for drug substance as well as drug product. So we'll see in detail what this justification of specification means. So this specification justification is a critical regulatory requirement in CMC, which ensures that the acceptance criteria for the drug substance and drug product are scientifically sound and clinically relevant. So the question may arise like why this limit set and how does it ensure that the product quality, safety and efficacy. So regulatory expectations are defined by the ICH and these specifications are specifically mentioned into the guidelines like ICH Q6A, Q3A, Q3B, and ICH Q8, which is quality by design, Q9, which is risk management, and Q10, which is pharmaceutical quality system. But what is the objective of specification justification? Why we need to justify the specification which we have given? Specifications may include your test methods or the criteria, acceptance limit. All those will be considered as your specification. And you have to justify, you have to give the rationale why your specifications given are relevant and how it will be going to ensure the product quality and safety. That's what you have to justify. So this objective of specification justification is to ensure that these specifications will going to control your CQAs, which is a critical quality attributes. It also reflects the process capability and consistency. It ensures the safety, uh, it will going to control your impurities, degradation product. So that's how it will going to ensure your safety as well. And it will also maintain the efficacy. As we know, it will be also going to have the justification for your assays and dissolution. So ultimately, it will going to maintain your efficacy and are the regulatory compliant and scientifically justified. So what are the types of justification? So we have like release specifications, sorry, types of specification, not justification. Uh, Specification like release specification, which is applied at the time of product release and typically which has very tighter limits. Then we also have shelf life specification. These are applied throughout the product life cycle and may allow a slight widening. Example, impurities increase over time. So this could be applied. Then we have in-process control, applied to the during manufacturing and ensure the process remains under control. So what is the scientific basis for the justification? The scientific basis could be your developmental studies, like identification of critical quality attribute using risk assessment, and the understanding the impact of formulation and process variables. Example are dissolution identified as CQA and its tighter limit required. Then we have batch analysis data, then for which we need the three primary batches. Then we also have stability data, long-term, accelerated, immediate, and it's critical for setting the impurity limits as well as assigning the shelf life. Then we have safety data, which could be threshold could be taken from the ICH Q3A and Q3B, and it also include the IQ identical threshold and QT, that is qualification threshold, and this will going to ensure the no toxic risk to the patient. We also have the analytical method capability, which is determined through the accuracy, precision, specificity, LOD, LOQ. Then we have manufacturing process capacity, and what are the key parameters to justify. So here this part will going to be an important. The key parameter to justify are like assay, typically 90 to 105%, and this is based on the clinical relevance and batch variability. Impurities like individual impurity limits, total impurity limit, and this will be going to be based on stability data and toxicological threshold. And special case, as we know, nitrosamine, which has very low limit. It's in parts per million or parts per billion. Then we have dissolution, which has critical for viability, and this is based on clinical data and biological classification system. Physical test like appearance, water content, hardness, friability. Then we also have the QBD based justifications, like specification are part of control strategy, and they are linked to the design space and risk assessment, which is ICS Q9. And not all the CQAs require the tight specs if control upstream. Regulatory expectations, authorities like US FDA, EMAs expect the scientific rationale, not just data, justification for each parameter, life cycle approach, and clear link between CQAs, risk, and specification. The common deficiencies which are observed, no justification for the limits. So whatever the limit we are providing for just specification, it should have some justification. Then limits copied from the pharmacopoeia without rationale. So sometimes some manufacturers just copy the limit from the pharmacopoeias, but they are not able to specify or justify why their limit, uh, why they chosen that particular uh, test and why that particular limit. Then we have ignoring the stability trend, then poor impurity qualification, that could be also common deficiency, and lack of statistical support. So there are some of the common deficiencies which are observed. Some practical example we'll see. For example, impurity justification. So here the observed impurity is 0.2 to zero point 0.4 in batches. And stability shows increase up to 0.6. So the ICH qualification threshold is 1%. So final justification could be your as final specification is individual impurity not more than 0.7%, and total impurity should not more than 1.5%. So justification will going to cover the batch variability and stability trend, and it will be also going to specify like it's below toxicological limit. So what we have learned from this is the specification justification is a data-driven and risk-based process which integrate the your development understanding, batch and stability data, safety threshold, analytical capacity, and the process control. It ultimately ensuring the consistent product quality and patient safety throughout the life cycle. So this is the kind of introduction to the justification of specification. We may also see in detail in upcoming session. So that's for today. Thank you.